I'm going to be showing you how to make this macrame plant hanger. I had a request from my mom to make her some macrame plant hangers that were more simple, not super detailed or intricate designs, so this is one of the ones that I came up with for her, and I'm going to show you guys how to make it today. You're going to need a ring. I'm using a wooden ring, and then you also will need 4 strands of 80-inch pieces of cord wrapped around the ring, and then you'll need another piece of 80-inch cord to tie on, and this is what we're going to use as our working cord, and we're going to do half hitch knots all the way around. And whenever you continue doing half hitch knots, that makes a spiral effect. So we're going to tie this cord on, and the first knot that you do, you really have to hold it in place because it will easily fall. I'm using 3mm cord. I will share all of the supplies in the description box below and give you guys links to Amazon where I purchased everything. I really like this cord, but we're going to just continue tying the same knot, and you do want to keep in mind that depending on how tight you pull the knot or the direction that you pull it, that will affect how the spiral turns out, whether it's more tight or not. So just play around with it, get an idea of how you want it to look. But we're going to do this until we get 4.5 inches of knots. At the end of the project, I'll show you how to sew in or hide the extra rope, but now we're going to go down about 8.5 inches to tie on our next knots. And for this, we're just going to grab 2 strands that are side by side, and you can always adjust once you tie your knot. I mean, we are on this part, we're only going to be doing a double half hitch knot, so if the length isn't exactly where you want it to be, it's very easy to adjust it. But you tie your double half hitch knot here, and then you're going to go around and you're going to tie a double half hitch knot with every 2 strands that are side by side. So now we're going to move on to the next 2 strands, and you want to get your knots the same height. So just do the best you can to put these in the exact same position. Okay, we have our 4 knots. Now we need to do another round of connecting 2 strands together. So I'm going to take this knot and then going to take the one that's right beside it, and we're going to tie these 2 strands in the middle together. And you're going to go around connecting all of these. It's kind of hard to explain, so I'll just do this in slow motion, but what I like to do is just do a 1 half hitch knot, not do the double half hitch knot just yet. So that way I can get all of my cords together in the position that I want them to be in, and make sure I don't get them tangled. When you have a lot of rope and you're working with it like this, it can get a little bit hard to see what you've got going on. So I am going to just loosely tie these together so I can make sure that I have the strands where I want them to be, and then I'm going to go back and I'm going to tie on another half hitch to make these all double half hitch knots. And I want this to be about 2.5 inches from this top knot. So once I do this, I'll go back and measure and make sure that I have it in the right position. Okay, so I have all of my rope positioned where I want it to be. I know that these knots are going to be in the right spot. So now just go back, measure, make it 2.5 inches from the knot above it, and then do another half hitch knot. So that way you'll make these double half hitch knots. At this point, I like to get my plant that I'm going to put in here and just set it in. You'll have to hold on to the rope underneath it, make sure it doesn't fall through, but just get an idea of the position of the knots or how you like it. It just fits right in the center here, and this is the way that this will work. And then we're going to finish with some more of the spiral half hitch knots underneath, but at this point, get everything kind of positioned and make sure that it looks right and the knots are even. And now you need to have another piece of working cord. That this one will need to be 40 inches long, and we're going to do just like we did at the top. We're going to tie this on using a half hitch knot, and we're going to continue doing the half hitch knots until we have a couple of inches, maybe like 2 inches of knots below. And after we finish this, I will show you guys how to hide the ends. And now we just need to hide the ends. I like to use a plastic yarn needle that I found at, I think I found this at Michael's, but they're so much easier to get the thicker yarn into, or the thicker cord into, so I just recommend these. I did break the end of it, so it's not, doesn't work as great. But we're going to go straight in the middle here, and we're going to go down just a few knots. A few loops here, and then just pull it through and trim off the extra. And we're going to do that with the top portion as well. And then at that point, you would just need to decide how long you want your fringe to be that hangs at the bottom, and you are finished. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. I am making her 3 other designs, because she wanted 4 different designs. And I will be sharing those in the next few days, so I hope you guys come back for that, and I'll see you then.